Hey Internet, my name is Debbie and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program on Wings. At first, I'd like to give you a short update about the status of our interplanetary missions, and as you can see, both missions, the Juno constellation and Sirius, the mission going up to Joule, haven't done any huge changes, and this is because we just have launched our two supply missions, and these two supply missions haven't even left the sphere of influence of Kerbin, so there wasn't so much things happening and going on since the last episode. Today we want to do something special because with Elle and Sean Kerman we want to launch our immune base I was talking about in the last episode, and the upper stage here is our immune base. So let's switch on SAS, throttle for up, and in 3, 2, 1, and lift off. Okay, here we go. And while we are aiming up to space, I see that something is really awkward with the staging, so I hope I can fix this before we are running into trouble. Let's do this right away during the launch. This is not very good and not very professional doing this on the flight. And why is this here and this there? So, okay. And then these two things need to change. Now this. Okay, now it's looking much better. Okay, I have reconfigured the flight computer during the launch. This is not very professional, but as we are playing Kerbal Space Program, it's I think pretty typical for our cosmonauts to do things on the go and on the fly, and literally on the fly. Okay, we are aiming up to space with our immune base. In general, our immune base, let's switch to a more scenic view. Maybe like this. This looks amazing. Our immune base isn't so great at all, because in general you don't have really a benefit of having immune base or having any base on the surface of a celestial body, because there is no science generation on a regular basis. And once you have visited a biome, you are pretty done with it, and it makes no use to have anything staying around and having a long duration stay on the surface of a celestial body. And it's bad that it's sad that I can't mount my camera directly on the rocket, so it stays there when I'm doing this turn. So yeah, there is no science generation on a regular basis, and this also means it's not so important to have any bases on the surface of any celestial body, because you can only do one experiment per biome, and once you have done this, you can't redo anything or you can't generate much more science. And this is really sad, and this aligns also a little bit with the issue I have with robotic missions, because I can now launch a robotic mission maybe up to Eve or so and land on the surface of the Eve without the option to return back to Kerbin. Then I can transmit the science back home, but because of the limitation of the transmission, I can't get so much science out of it, and this is really sad, because I like to have some robotic missions, but the penalty on the science is really huge. I mean, I get maybe only 30% or so out of one experiment, and I even can't redo any experiment once I have transmitted it. And this is really sad. I mean, if I compare this to the Curiosity, the Mars rover is constantly sending back some images and some experiments and so on, and they get so much science out of it. And here in KSP, because it's obvious why they have done the change, because previously you were able to do science spamming, and so you could max out any biome by just flying up there, and you weren't challenged to return anything. You could probably just fly out there and get a lot of science without being required to fly back home. And this was a little bit too easy, but on the other hand, I really like to have a good good use for robotic missions or for one-way missions, instead of just sending them up there, and they are generating so few signs. So this is really sad. I would love to have a better idea or a better way of using one-way missions. Okay, nevertheless, I really like to have a moon base, even if I don't have any benefits out of it. It's just interesting for me to have something staying for a long duration on the surface of the moon, and having, well, just to have the thing of having a moon base is just great, because then I can launch some missions up there, I can land there, I can do some crew exchange, and maybe I can do a rover mission up there, so I land a rover directly close to the moon base, so my moon base Kerbonauts can jump into the rover and drive around, even though they are not generating any signs out of it. It's just interesting to have something going on, and so yeah, that's why I mostly like to have a moon base, just like achievement unlocked. I have a moon base also, and this is mostly why I'm currently aiming for it and why I like to do this. And now we are currently aiming for having our moon base at least in our orbit around Kerbal before we will head off to the moon. Now it's the normal launch process. At first I will use my what is this, the third stage, I think, if I count correctly, the third stage to insert myself almost into our orbit, and then I will cut right now the engine so that the third stage will fall back into the atmosphere of Kerbal and disintegrate, and now I will use the upper stage to bring myself into an orbit around Kerbal and to mostly circularize the orbit, and I will use it also to launch myself on a trajectory up to the moon. Okay, let's see, is this a good spot? Oh, I should set the moon as my target. Maybe it's a little bit too early. Yes, it's a little bit too early. Let's turn the thing around until now. And we need a little bit more speed. So what do we have here? 129. Can we play around a little bit with it? No, we can't. So I need a little bit more. This is too much speed. 27. This is good enough. This is good enough. I'm okay with it. And the burn is coming up in about 10 minutes. So let's do a short time warp. And then I will explain you a little bit the construction of my moon base. Okay, 2 minutes. This is looking good. Let's turn towards the maneuver node. And maybe like this. And full throttle. Okay, my moon base. Unfortunately, it's currently in the shadow. My moon base is almost the upper part here. It has a small fuel tank, mostly for landing purposes. It has the crew container where 4 Kerbals can stay. And it's controlled from the MK Mark II lander can. The Mark II lander can is the bridge, or however you want to call it. And it has 4 landing legs, of course. It has some small experiments. It has some lights. It has also a shielded docking port, because I like to have the docking option. Maybe I have to reallocate this thing, or I'm able to bring this thing back into an orbit around the moon, and I want to refuel it, or I want to bring it to a completely different position or different celestial body. So that's why I've added a docking port, and it has also 4 solar panels for energy generation, and I just want to deploy one of the solar panels so I don't run out of energy. Now let's have a quick check that we are doing our approach to the moon correctly. Let's kill the maneuver node and enable the numbers, because I want to follow it and I want to have a very close approach and a very close Mune periapsis. So let's get this thing very close. And 20 kilometers. Okay, this is good enough. We have our Mune encounter in 4 hours? Really? So fast? In 4 hours? Okay. So let's close this thing and let's do a fast forward. Okay, Al and Sean Kerman are the first carbonauts who will have a long duration stay on the surface of the Moon. So they are some pioneers who will do this for the very first time for the Kerbal kind to be on the surface of a celestial body for a very long time until the next exchange or crew exchange will arrive, or the rover test mission. And yeah, this is their biggest goal, and now I want to no target. I want to have a maneuver node. Okay. Now I can do a maneuver node. Okay. Let's create a mostly circular orbit around the Moon. And come on, 40, 29, 19 to 26, 70 to 26, 11 to 25. Well, I think this is good enough at first. Where is our target? There it is. Let's fast forward in time a bit so we can do our orbit insertion maneuver around the Moon. And here we are coming. Whoa, 6 minutes. Whoa. 3, 2, 1. Let's come to a stop here and turn around. And not so far away. Okay, maybe like this. I now want to... Let me check where I am. It could be interesting to land maybe around here. Am I able to do this? To land there right away? This could be possible. This would be great. To land right away around here-ish. So... Oh, we should start to do our burn. Let's do this. Whoa, camera's freaking out. Okay, and let's retract our solar panel. Shondas and L a little bit concerned, but I hope they are all right. Let's do this maneuver. The camera is freaking out again, and stop. Okay, what have we done so far? Very good. We are coming down, and I like to land probably around here or so. Do I have more little... Whoa, wrong. I don't want to really set a maneuver node. From this position I might be able to still see Kerbin. This could be really interesting if I still have a visual on Kerbin. Or maybe a little bit earlier, so around here or so. In 2 minutes we will need to... Yes, there we can see Kerbin still. We need to kill much of our orbital velocity. I'm even a little bit high. This is bad. But I like to have a visual on Kerbin. This would be really great. Okay, let's see. Maybe around here. Okay, let's do this burn. I want to get rid of this maneuver node. Surface mode. This is good because I want to kill all of my lateral velocity, or most of it. And we are slowing down. This is good. And we are out of fuel. This is not so good. So, goodbye. Goodbye, upper stage. You were very nice. Let's switch on the other engines. And let's kill a little bit more of our velocity. I think this is a good landing spot down here. So, let's slow down. Elle and Shonda's Kerman are a little bit concerned. I don't know why. Why are you concerned? Now let's bring up the retrograde vector directly on top of the nav wall as usual, because then we are sure, as long as we are in surface mode, that we are going down in a vertical way and we are not drifting to one side. This is very important to have a good landing. Okay, and unfortunately we are a little bit high. This is not really good, because now we need to fall down a very long distance, and falling down a very long distance means also that we have a very high potential energy, and potential energy is resulting in a high velocity as we are dropping down, and so we need to kill more of our velocity as we are getting closer and closer to the surface, and this is resulting in a higher fuel consumption. And so yeah, a lot of problems are coming from such a high approach, but I really like to have still a view on Kerbal. At least I hope I still have one when I'm on the surface. Let's start to slow down a bit, because the Mune is tightly locked to Kerbal, so if I have from the surface still a view on Kerbal, I will be able to have all the time a view on Kerbal, which would be really, really amazing if I can see this, our home planet, all the time. And this also means that we can have a direct communication with our home planet. And let's switch on the lights, so we hopefully can better estimate our altitude. Okay. So, I hope we'll still be able to see at least half of the planet. This would be really amazing. We are coming down. Oh, Shonda's Kerman is now smiling. He is enjoying the landing process. This is good. Oh, there we have our shadow. This is also good. Let's throttle up a bit, so we are slowing down a bit more. And there we have still a visual on Kerbal. It's very important for me. Okay. I think this is looking good. Let's do it very, very slowly and very professional. Well, I'm not sure if this is professional, because I already done something wrong during my first approach, because I was coming down from such a high altitude, and this is already not so good. But on the other hand, at least the landing, or the final part of the landing, could be made very professional, and this is looking good. There we're coming. Let's throttle a little bit up, so we are slowing down even more. Okay, this is not... but I don't want to come to a hover. I still want to descend, and... catching. Oh, don't flip over, don't flip over. Okay, very good, very good. We are on the surface and we still have a visual on Kerbal. This is great, this is amazing, this is really cool. Okay, let's extend the ladder. The next thing is, let's extend our solar panels, so we are generating energy. This is the most important thing for our Mune base. Okay. Now the next thing is rename vessel, because now we are our base. Yes, Mune base. Very good. Okay, Elle and Shonda's Kerman, you are the first Kerbonauts on the surface of Mune who will stay there for a long time. Crew report. Yes, a new biome. Crew report from Mune's Midlands. You record the crew's assessment of the situation. Let's transmit the data back home. Very good. so we can do some science. We will return later on with our... Oh, we have already done this, but we haven't transmitted any crew reports. This is strange. Maybe it was... Oh, I know why. I think it's mostly because I was doing this with my Mune biome hopping. I think if we switch over to the Mune map... Yes, Mune's Midlands. I was there, but it was from the Duna constellation currently, and that's why I launched the antenna. I had no antenna, so I wasn't able to send back a crew report, so I think all the other gravity... Oh, we have at least a little bit gravity data. Let's keep it. And seismic data. Log seismic data, yes, also a little bit seismic data at least. Okay. Sean Deskerman. You are in charge of exploring the new Mune base. Let's get down. And you're on the surface, and he's enjoying it. He's smiling. This is great. Okay. And he can see his home planet. He can wave to his home planet. And there you are coming from. Such a long distance you have just traveled. And it's interesting. He can walk underneath the station. I could have brought a little rover with me and launch it from my station also. Okay, I think the station is still in good shape. So you can... No. Oh no, you can remain there and have a look at your home planet while we are switching back to El Carmen. El Carmen will do as well in short EVA. And climb down. Okay, let go. Very good. He's enjoying this as well. Okay. And there is our home planet, and there is our Mune base. Let's see this. Okay. Here we are on the surface of the Mune, and well, it's a little bit... It's not completely a flat area, but I think it's a good spot because there is no crater in the near surround... Well, over there. And it's pretty flat, so if I want to send any new missions up there, or for testing a rover or so, this is a really good spot to land and to have some more missions. So I think it's a really good good spot for having a Mune base. Okay, here. Al Kerman is hopefully... Yes, Al Kerman is also enjoying this. Can we EVA report? Okay, we have already done this. Surface sample. 30 science points at least. Okay, let's keep this data. Oh, El Carmen, you're now in charge of collecting the data and storing it in the crew container. Let's climb up. And take data. And take data. Very good. And now store experiments. Okay, very good. So we can take this back home when we do a crew exchange or so. That's very good. So yeah, this was the landing of our very first Mune base. And with a view on... Wait, speaking of the view, the window is pointing into this direction. Can we see maybe? Let's see. I'm not quite sure if he's choosing the right place. That's board, and I want to have an IVA. I can look out of the window, but no, I don't see Kerbal. This is sad, this is sad. This would be really great if I could see Kerbal from the outside. Okay, let's get you back outside. Okay, I think this wraps up our mission for today. I hope you liked the deployment of my Mune base. At least Kerman and Cherndos have liked this, to bring a Mune base up to the surface of the Mune. And if you do so as well, please like, subscribe and comment on it. And I hope I see you again in the next episode when we do some more science stuff in Kerbal Space Program. Until then, my name is Sebi. See you!